From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, July the 30th, 2024. An Israeli civilian was killed today in a rocket attack on northern Israel. Magen David Adom paramedics said that EMTs who arrived at Kibbutz HaGoshrim in the Galilee provided medical treatment to a male approximately 30 years old in critical condition with shrapnel injuries, and that despite resuscitation efforts, were forced to declare him dead. He was later named as 28-year-old Nir Popko, a resident of the kibbutz. The rocket that hit the kibbutz was one of a barrage of rockets bombarded at the area launched by terror group Hezbollah today. The IDF said most of the rockets were intercepted by the Iron Dome. Rockets continued to be fired at northern Israel today, as well as several explosive-laden drones, some of which made landfall, but there were no injuries reported in those incidents. The IDF responded to the rockets and drone attacks, hitting terrorist targets of Hezbollah throughout the day today. And then tonight, took action in response to the deadly rocket attack on Saturday at Majdal Shams, the Druze community in northern Israel, where 12 children were killed. The IDF said this evening that it carried out a targeted strike in Beirut on the commander responsible for the murder of the children in Majdal Shams and the killing of numerous additional Israeli civilians. The Times of Israel said media outlets are reporting that this commander is a very senior commander in Hezbollah who leads the terror group's precision missile project and is also wanted by the United States for his role in the 1983 bombing of a U.S. Marines barrack in Beirut. And in Gaza, where intense fighting continues between Israeli troops and terror group Hamas, the IDF shared an operational update, including, it said, the destruction of over 100 kilometers, about 62 miles, of underground structures, locating dozens of senior compounds, it said, and tunnels, where it said kidnapped hostages were hidden at one point, as well as airstrikes conducted in Gaza targeting Hamas terrorists, including one, the IDF said, who was in charge of anti-tank weapons in the Nuseirat battalion of Hamas, and it said was a partner in planning and carrying out many terrorist plots against our forces and served as a knowledge center in the field. A synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was targeted this week. A painted inverted red triangle, which is a symbol associated with Hamas, and the words Jews for Palestine were discovered yesterday on Chabad of Squirrel Hill, which is walking distance from the Tree of Life, the site of the 2018 shooting attack, where 11 worshipers were murdered. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro wrote, "The Squirrel Hill community witnessed the deadliest act of anti-Semitism in our nation's history at Tree of Life Synagogue. They should not need to wake up to anti-Semitic graffiti in their neighborhood. Vandalism of any type of a house of worship has no home in our Commonwealth, and we must all continue to call it out and speak with moral clarity." A sign outside the office of the Jewish Federation of Greater Pittsburgh was also vandalized over the last several days. Under the words Jewish Federation were painted the words "funds genocide," as well as "Heart Jews hate Zionists." The Federation shared a message from Pittsburgh Mayor Ed Gainey and other city officials who wrote this was a deplorable act of anti-Semitism and political violence, saying there is no place for Jewish hate, violence, or intimidation of any kind here in Pittsburgh. Turning now to Paris and some news from the Olympic Games. Jewish-American fencer Nick Itkin won a bronze yesterday in the men's foil individual. The JTA reports Itkin is one of 6 fencers out of 20 on the U.S. team in Paris who are Jewish or come from Jewish families. Itkin won a bronze in the team foil at the Tokyo Olympics in 2020. And Jewish Australian athlete Jessica Fox won a gold medal on Sunday in the women's kayak slalom. This is her second gold, the first one in Tokyo. Fox's mother and coach, Miriam Fox Jerusalmi, won a bronze in the same event for France at the 1996 Olympics. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, July the 30th at 7 o'clock, Professor Assaf Zeevi and a senior at Columbia University talk about campus protests, anti-Semitism, the university's response, and a call for action, together with ISGAP leaders Charles Small and David Harris. At 8, Justin Pines is joined by scholar and educator Dr. Daniel Matt. At 9, actor Allen Lewis Rickman is on L'Chaim. At 10, the ILTV's Insider, which is also coming up next. At 10:30, a replay of the news. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, July the 30th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.